Hello, hello, here to do a Your Avad review. Like I said, sorry I got sick, so it took me a while to get to this, but we're going over it now. Hey, climb has been largely going well. Moved from Plat 2 after the live session to Masters 120. Yo, that is a huge climb. Congrats. Was a big fan of Scrap last few patches, helped me climb, but today went 7785. May submit another from this bunch. Clear not seeing, settling with 13.6. Eighth was Scuff, no scout, no pivot, where I picked too late and didn't get the right units in. Oh, okay. Seventh, contested Zeri roll from too much value. I mean, that's rough as well. Sixth, Automata was rough as well. And then Trist Bruiser. Yeah, look at the game. 13.4, 37 games, full scrap, visionary. So yeah, really good stats. I mean, slightly worse stats. I mean, yeah, scrap has gotten worse. Feels like I only climbed this high based on scrap. Now I'm just scrambling to get anything to work. My only success this patch has been from stupid high roll games. The patch came out. All right, so here is the VOD. Yeah, I mean, I will say, scrap is definitely weaker now. After the B patch, it's like a little bit stronger. So at least that's something that you can be kind of excited to play for. But we'll see. I mean, a lot of the lines that you're talking about, like no scout, no pivot without like having real clear direction. I mean, that is just kind of like your average placement is going to be really, really bad if you're playing no scout, no pivot from that kind of spot. And then other stuff like that, like contested Zeri roll. I mean, that's always a disaster. Like a lot of these games, it seems like you just need to have, like based on the things you just sent to me, sounds like you need to have just kind of like better early game, just kind of like game plans, because like I think this game, yeah, like you say, this game is a Trist Bruisers game. I mean, we'll see actually what the rest of our shops look like. I'm a little surprised if it ends up in Trist Bruisers. I mean, I guess tier can be Redemption, which is not bad. Well, I mean, the main thing that I'm surprised about though is that Trist Bruisers is not really like a comp. Like if you go onto like a TFTacademy.com here, like if you're playing around Trist, you should really be playing. You can play like Emissary Trist, or you can play Sentinel Trist. Like these are basically like the two main variations of Trist. Trist Bruisers. I mean, it's just. Sentinels and Emissaries just link up so nicely with Trist. Obviously, Emissary Trist because she's an emissary, and obviously Sentinel Trist because then you have like the Ezreal and then like Alawi, like Ezreal Alawi Aurelia like Rebel connection there, which is really really nice. So yeah, like these are the two dominant versions of Trist. So I would just be kind of careful, like overcooking, I would say. And then I would also say just kind of in general, like there are other lines that are open here, right? Like you end up skipping double Lux pair here or just Lux pair here. Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. Though I do think when you feel singed here, no, yeah, you're fine. Okay, you're fine getting the farm here. Okay, that's good. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you can really hold the Lux pair there after getting the rest of this stuff, but it is a little bit tragic. But I mean, we're gonna play for bruisers here. But like, yeah, you're looking at this spot into like a reroll bruiser angle. I think this is just a bit of an overcook. I would say we'll see. But yeah, I would stress to not overcook in general in TFT. We also pick up the Urgot here off the thing. Is our positioning correct for this? I think this doesn't double farm, does it? Boom, boom. Actually, you might have double farm there. I didn't actually see at the end there, but okay. Like we should definitely be holding Zyra pair here, at least though, for the potential experiment with Urgot, for just something to play. Oh, and then you take Rocket Collection and you just say, I'm gonna send it. Okay, I think this is actually fine. But I mean, I think it's fine, but I don't think you should be like I said, I don't think we should really be trying to play Bruiser Trist here. I think you should be trying to play into Sentinel Trist here. But yeah, I mean, I think this pick is perfectly solid. We actually have 2-star Singe too. I mean, our early game board can just be this plus this. Yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. But I would hold on to these Singe because yeah, your dream is going to be for this. You take IE here for sure. And then ideally you want like Bow here. I would actually be interested in not popping this Anvil until Carousel. Because my thought process here is you make IE and Redemption here, and then you just sit. You wait until Carousel. I don't know if you've done this like tech before, but what you can do is you can pop your Anvil right before you go into Carousel, and then you have it open as you're looking at Carousel. But here now we're kind of forced to commit to something here, which we don't really want to commit to. You probably, like, I'm not actually that happy taking Sword here. I don't think Sword really makes sense in this spot. You're probably supposed to take like Giant's Belt there, and just go for like a Sunfire down the line. The problem is like, okay, so what are our items actually going to be here realistically? We've, oh, and then this guy might be Trist as well. So if that guy's Trist, then you certainly can't play Trist. And I mean, that's fine. Then you don't have to play it. But yeah, I want to scout that person some more. Also, I mean, we have to hold on to these pairs. So this is just going to be our board for now. And we're actually probably not going to make gold. We're just going to hold on to all the 2 costs here, which I think is fine. Make sure the Redemption, yeah, is next to that dude. Okay. But yeah, like, We know we're gonna be collector plus IE, guaranteed. And then what's our last item gonna be here? We took sword. I guess you're thinking maybe gunblade? But gunblade's not even as strong in the bruiser variation. Yeah, I would actually hold this set there. Just because like you're on the path towards a win streak. Like it's really like you actually have really nice odds of potentially like playing this into a 5 streak, and like holding the set just puts you into a really good spot to 5 streak. I know it costs you some gold here, but you know, you'll make gold this round. And like the other thing is like you're holding all these other pairs already. And so it's like just in general, you're going to be like a little bit behind gold wise regardless this game. So then like why not then just hold on to the set and say, okay, I'm holding Triss pair, Urgot pair, and set pair. It's gonna make your 3-2 amazing. Like you're gonna be able to roll once or twice and spike your board a disgusting amount. But okay, hopefully we can win this fight. You also have collector. Well, you're eventually gonna have collector to kind of compensate your gold a bit. I definitely pre-level here. Why not? Like it gives you higher odds of finding the units that you care about. If you're not going to make gold here, which you're not going to with this stuff, then you should just pre-level here and hold on to like Zyra. But all right, on to Carousel here. Yeah, you're really looking at this bow here, and it's also on a set, which, you know, could have been your set too, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, like here, it would be nice to have this anvil open because, like, for example, you know, maybe you would be more interested in taking something like this chain vest, and then if you had the belt open, then you could have just made a Sunfire. Because now we take this. I'm not really sure what the cloak is for. I mean, I do think, like, the other thing, I guess, to stress here, if you go on to something like TFT Academy, and like this is the reason why on TFT Academy, is you look at the Triss comps, right? You look at this Triss comp, you're rolling for Triss, Vlad, and Vander here. You look at this Triss comp, you're rolling for Triss, Rel, Ezreal, and maybe Singed. What unit do you not notice on all of these reroll setups is Urgot. Urgot has been nerfed just way too hard to the point where you're really not interested in playing for like a Triss Urgot duo carry. And so I'm kind of concerned if your idea here is cloak into like BT, because yeah, I'm not trying to play around Urgot in current year. It's just not very good. This guy's also taken some of our bruisers. They're not really gonna be bruiser reroll or anything like that, but you know, something. I mean, I don't see why. I mean, you have to play Triss this game because you took Rocket Collection, which like is a little scary because if you do end up contested, you're just going to be in this really awkward world where like if you can't get to Triss 3, you're going to have to like tempo play around like Trist and Artillerist and stuff like that, which is not that much of a line, but I'd rather that than just be stuck not ever hitting Triss 3. So yeah, but okay. This is the spot. We get 4 Bruiser on level 6, which will be really, really nice. This guy's board does not look too weak, so I mean, Rennie got a good ult off at least there. We killed the Sunfire really quickly. I mean, that's pretty big for us. I think we're okay. Yeah, nice. All right, good win here. I mean, great 5 streak, great start. I'm curious actually how many stacks we have on the Triss specifically, but you also check Rocket Collector here. We're at 34, so yeah, not bad. We're on our way there. So yeah, and then you end up selling that. I think that's fine. Hopefully we end up picking up. Yeah, we end up getting the Trundle back anyway, and we do hit the Urgot. So that's I mean, you can play the Urgot for now, but like I said, like I'm not excited if we're playing for Urgot 3 as our dream here. I think that is not going to be not gonna happen. So yeah. All right, I would definitely hold the Trundle here for sure. If you don't hold the Trundle, it's a pretty big mistake. Because this is 4 Bruiser here. It's really, really big actually on our board right now. Yeah, you're looking at items, but we need to grab this Trundle here because it's our next level. Like we just yeah, just always be sure to like kind of like be on the lookout. And if you haven't seen it, because I think when I did my other session with you, I didn't have this before, but this is a cool new thing that I'm doing where I'm kind of like tracking notes throughout the big takeaways and just putting these in notes because a lot of people are kind of like, what are the big takeaways from the session? And so I have this. But yeah, like be on the lookout for units that complete synergies and prio holding them. Can't skip Trundle with 3 Bruiser in. Because, like, yeah, it's crazy that we are 3 Bruiser here and that we just skipped a Trundle in our shop. Like, that is going to make us a lot weaker in the long run. And then, okay, let's go back and look at your item slams here. So it looks like you aren't thinking of playing the Urgot variation, which I like. And then you just opt to make Bramble Declaw. I don't mind it. Yeah, I'm down for Bramble Declaw here. The only problem is because we took this sword that's stuck on Triss, now we just have this bow sword open. So, like, you're almost forced to make Deathblade here, which I don't love, but you I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to make it on a 5 streak here. Pretty sure there's nothing else that can get made in this spot. But like here, we should have the Trundle and we should be scouting the lobby to see if leveling up here is correct. Because if you can level here and it saves your 5 streak, you 1,000,000% do that. On the other hand, like, you know, if everybody else is weak, you might not need to. But yeah, it's definitely Deathblade. I love that you slam. Okay, I like that a lot. I'm very, very pleased that you are making aggressive slams on a win streak. I think that is a very good way to just farm some free elo. And yeah, you're on the way here, and we're continuing to stack up our rockets, continuing to stack up our Trist. Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on here. So I like that. All right, Dumbify. Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's not late game. It's not Dumbify. Item Collector's like okay. Fire Sale's like okay. I'm not for just Item Collector. We're playing up. We already have a bunch of items crafted already this game because like we're extra items portal and we're extra items augment. So I think Item Collector is good enough here. I don't like corrosion. Fire Sale's okay, like I said. Okay. 1,000,000% level for Nunu. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, Fire Sale's okay. I would rather just push your streak because I think we're in a really good spot to play for streak continuing. Like Fire Sale kind of takes our foot off the gas a little bit. I did just see this player down here, Lero Quinn, ended up hitting Tristana too, so I would really prioritize scouting that player. If they're playing Trist reroll, I'm fine just tempoing this. And it sucks. Like it's not my favorite. And then you just play like around 4 artillerist. And like, yeah, you know, it's not something that I'm excited about, but I can live with it. I would much rather, yeah, because yeah, I think this is a mistake. Like you roll a bunch here without being without actually scouting to see. And yeah, this person scouting you, like they're definitely Trist reroll as well. And I know you're locked into well, you're locked into artillerists, but you're not actually locked into Trist reroll. And yep, we immediately scout and see. I mean, look at this. This person is playing Trist reroll, and there's another piece of this that is really, really bad for you. They're double econ augment. That means that this person gets to roll way more than you. It's actually pretty high roll for you that they're only 3 Trists and 2 Urgots right now. Like it's actually really high roll that they're this far behind. But every single round, like I don't know, they've probably used a lot of their refreshes from too much value already. But when you are contested, be really, really afraid of being contested by someone who has econ augment because that means that it's going to be way easier for them to get to their things. So like, I think if I'm in your spot, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to push levels. And yeah, you scout them. You see that they're, you know, Kingslayer is a kind of a weird econ augment, but it is an econ augment in their spot if they can win some fights, which maybe they can't, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that makes sense from your spot is you decide to just start pushing levels here, and then you just play for highest cap, unless you get a punt. Like you can chill for a bit, but I would not be like slow rolling on 6 here, and I think that's what you're going to do here because that's what you were doing before here. But like I would not roll anymore on 6. I would wait and see the end of the stage how many Trists they have. I mean, yeah, look at this. They all of a sudden picked up 2 more. Like it is going to be near impossible for you to hit Trist 3. I mean, it's possible. You can theoretically both hit, but why would you when you could just play a rocket collection game and play for like 4 artillerist? I mean, if you get like an artillerist +1 plus, I mean, +2 is really what you're excited about, which is kind of hard. But like you actually have really good tempo. Like there's no reason why you can't just push levels and play like some kind of really weird setup here around. I mean, you could even just play like emissaries and Corki type stuff. Like I see no reason why you can't just play like an emissary Corki game here, use the gold collector and be pretty happy with that, and just play a regular fast 8 game, use the gold collectors that you get from the your augment. But yeah, like you're just digging yourself into a hole here. I would say kind of like I'll put this in macro, but based upon this game and then the other games where you kind of sent me a little honestly, I should have a fundamental for line selection. I guess that I kind of have that in meta knowledge a little bit, but I should actually make one of these kind of like line selection. I'm gonna do that actually. I'm gonna change positioning to positioning / scouting, and then change scouting to line selection, because I really think this is like your biggest issue after like you talking about those other games that you have and then watching this game as well, is just don't play contested reroll if you can help it. Contested reroll if you can help it, especially when the other person has econ augments. Scout more before you commit to a comp and before you start rolling in a reroll comp. And yeah, well, I mean, we rolled down here, right? I mean, we're 50 gold, only 5 Trists. Like, I mean, we might hit eventually, but the problem is like you're healthy. Like you will probably hit eventually this game. But hitting is actually not enough. You need to hit with enough gold that you can actually push levels and build a strong board. And that's just not going to happen when you're contested like this. Even though this person's probably going to bot 4, like even if you hit, unless you cap yourself, I mean, you're just not going to be able to cap high because you're going to have to spend like, if, normally it takes you, I don't know, like 40 refreshes to find a Trist, and contested, like costs you 60 refreshes. That's minus 40 gold. And that's 40 gold that could allow you to, push levels and build a stronger board and all this kind of stuff. So yeah. All right, let's look. I mean, yeah, these two are untakeable. Bad luck protection is really bad with Trist, just because you really want that big crit onto the ability. Health as well does nothing here. Mana flow is not amazing. Big grab bag's pretty bad as well. You have to refresh this. You probably have to take this and just roll here. I mean, this really sucks. But like, this is the example of like, this is why playing contested reroll is bad, is because like you have to take this here, but now you're down an augment, right? You don't get this augment later. I would hold I don't really care that much about Urgot 3. I would hold the Ez over the Urgot 3, and like, yeah, I mean, I get holding these 3 costs, but yeah, I mean, yeah, your spot is just, I mean, it's painful. It's painful to watch. I mean, you probably feel pain watching this game back because yeah, I mean, your game is just doomed. Like if this is your spot at 4-2, like I think you said you went 5th this game. Like I think if you put me into this game, like if you dropped me into this game in this spot, like I would be happy with a 5th, I would say, because you've just locked yourself into a really, really, really bad decision, which is playing contested reroll. You had to take this augment now because you're playing contested reroll against somebody with an econ augment. You had to, okay, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, you had to roll aggressively there. I think that was perfectly correct. Honestly, I wouldn't have even minded rolling it to 0 there, because you want to be as strong as possible now, and the problem now is you're actually gonna have trouble finding like Nunu 3 and Rennie 3. And the other thing is this is also just not that much of a comp. Remember, like the Sentinel version or the Emissary version or the versions that you're excited to play, this is not really a comp. So yeah, like this is your spot. You had to roll it down and use dupes to find a Trist 3 that like, I mean, you don't have a frontline stabilized here. Like what you had to do that last round, honestly, is just roll it to 0. Like I said, use the extra refreshes to find Trist, and then find like Nunu 3, dupe Nunu 3, and use that to stabilize. And hopefully that can like gift you a 4th. That's like best case here. And in a similar way, like I wouldn't even mind. Like I'm pretty sure you should level this round. It's only 20 gold, and you do get in another 2-star 3-cost bruiser, which is a lot of extra frontline. I mean, your goal should just be to get to level 8. To get to 4 artillerists. Like what we should have done here is just pushed level or rolled down deeper last round, found Trist 3, and then a 3-star frontliner, either Rennie or Nunu, and then use that to coast us to level 8. And now we're in a pretty awkward spot here, but okay. Let's see. Wolf Familiars? Wait, actually, nah, I mean, you probably don't want it. It's kind of a cool idea, but yeah, I don't think it's that great. Probably not. You're not actually getting an insane amount of armor and MR from these items, are you? Like, you're just upping the amount of armor and MR from Bramble and from this thingy. I don't think this is actually that good. It's not like you have Sentinel or anything like this. Like, I really don't think this gives you that much stats. And the other, oh, okay. Yeah, I do agree with rolling here. The other thing is because we didn't roll down earlier and find either Nunu 3 or Rennie 3, now we kind of have to gamble on who we are itemizing here. I like Rennie better than Nunu. I don't really think Nunu's a great tank, but we do end up in this really awkward spot where, like, do we want to, who do we want to anomalize, Rennie or Nunu? And like, you don't know which one you're going to hit. So it's actually really rough. Ideally, you'd anomalize Trist here, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, you can't take that. Can't take that. I don't think you really want that either, actually. I mean, the nice thing is it scales with HP, but the problem is, like, your bruisers dealing extra damage is not really your route to winning this game. Like, extra damage on Trist would be a lot of damage, and extra damage, or extra just like tankiness on your front line would be a lot of extra damage. But I don't think Slow Cooker on this Rennie. I mean, if we get to Rennie 3, she'll do a good amount of damage. But yeah, I do think you'd actually get like a lot more, like significantly more damage just from getting a really, really good damage anomaly onto your Tristana. I mean, I think you kind of see that here when you check damage chart here, where Rennie did like no damage. And this guy managed to get to Trist 3, and also, like, this guy is playing the Emissary Trist board, right? This guy is playing the more, like, standard version of Trist, and you can see that they're doing a lot better. Yeah, like, they played this exact version of the board that's on, TFT Academy, and because they got to a strong version of their board, they're really happy about their spot, I would say. And yeah, like you're kind of looking at it, be like, oh, maybe Emissary Trist is kind of good, which I mean, yeah, it is pretty good. But okay, yeah, I mean, you both hit Trist 3, but this guy actually like they made a pretty smart call of playing the version of the comp that doesn't actually require many other 3 stars. Like they're just using Trist and then playing around these emissaries where you kind of prismatic orb, radiant. Okay. It's probably just IE here, I would say. Like you already like the collector synergizes really, really nicely with IE in general and just with Trist's ability. And your frontline is not that great. I'm pretty sure Radiant Guinsoo is quite good when you're playing the Super Sentinel version, but you actually just kind of need burst here. You don't really need scaling attack speed because like you're kind of your board is not that tanky. But okay, Warmog's LW here, and then chill here. Vow, probably Warmog's here. You don't get LW, which is oh no, you do. Yeah, you had the other. Okay, yeah, we take LW here. Still don't have Heal Cut, which is pretty rough here. We at least get the Nunu 3 here. I want to Mel. Okay, well, she definitely should have fit on this board this round, but obviously we ran out of time. We're rolling more for Rennie 3 because we kind of have to. This is like also, yeah, this is the problem with that. Once again, like I talked about, it's like we kind of like you want to push levels, but you're forced here to roll. But okay, we can at least get Rennie in next round, and or not Rennie, but Mel in here, have her start stacking at least as a good unit, and yeah. Ooh, okay. I think at this point you kind of had to roll for like you're one off Rel 3. I think you probably should just roll for Rel on 7, especially because you do still have that really good in on 7 with the Mel. But okay, we find the Rennie. Did I say Rel? Rennie. We find the Rennie on 8 at least, so we just barely get there. We get Spectral Cutlass Vide, which is not ideal here, and Rennie with the slow cooker. Yeah, I mean, she's doing okay work, but it's just, I mean, she had a lot of good damage there, 6.9k. I do think, if our Triss lived, she'd probably do more than that, but, not the end of the world. And yeah, I mean, the spot just looks quite rough. I mean, honestly, you really, I think ideally would get out of a couple of these bruisers and just play, I think you would ideally play, 6 or not 6 but 4 artillerist here. I love this. I almost clicked it as like a weakness. I love this position. I think this is beautiful. The positioning split versus the Renata. It doesn't actually work that nicely. Renata's still in front of that guy, but at least we make them declump a bit, and the Rennie 3 does good work here. Yeah, but I love that positioning split. That's really big, and that actually might have ended up saving this game from being like something like a 7th. Like actually, if you lose that, you might actually go like 7th here. So really, really nice actually. Sunfire, we need heal cut. Beautiful. I like it. I like it a lot. We can drop that onto Nunu here. I mean, we're 12 HP. We should just be rolling every round for Corki 2. We don't have that much gold is the only issue, but I mean, 20 gold. Yeah, at least 2 Corki 2. Finally get our collector, which is nice. It's a little bit awkward actually. Like, where do we move this? Like, you want to throw it onto Corki here, roll twice more. And I do think you kind of have to do that. And then reforge Deathblade. We reforge it to IE. That's hilarious. I like the reforge though. The only other thought is like you can move LW up to like Trundle, which I was thinking about, but I don't think it's very good. Yeah, I like the reforge here. Just making sure the LW survives is important. Can Rennie clutch it out with the slow cooker? I mean, the slow cooker value now that we're on Rennie 3 is actually pretty good. 8,000 damage, not bad here. Roll it down. We pick up Corki 2. Wow. Okay. We almost kind of turned this game around a bit, but then we're gonna rotate into like that strong Triss board or the Twitch board or this board, and then end up dying. Yeah, perhaps. And then we have to IE. It's probably Trundle. Also, we should be scrapping this Trundle, by the way. We have this giant spell that's just been sitting there. But okay, we fight the Twitch board. I mean, I think our positioning is pretty good. We don't get Elise here. I mean, it's just their board is so tanky, and we are just lower cap than you would want to be here. So yeah, you take a 5th. Like I said, I do think I think most of how you played out this game was correct. Like I think augment selection. I mean, like I said, I don't love the 3-2 selection that much. I think we could have done. I like itemize what we made pretty much the entire game. I think these items are fine. I think prioritizing the Gwynsu, making the Deathblade was good. Like I love the way that you slammed items. Yeah, making the items here, the way you moved them over was good. Yeah, I like a lot of the itemization choices that you made. I really think like this game just came down to line selection. Like I think you put yourself into a really bad spot. One, by taking Rocket Collector without scouting the lobby actually and seeing like, because this person, I don't know if you could tell from 2-1, but we certainly should, like, you should be scouting before you take an augment like this. I know it's good, but you know, like, you should be scouting before you take an augment like this in general. And if you are going to take this, I would be open to like switching lines. And if you are going to take this and play into a Triss reroll line, we should not be playing Bruiser reroll. I mean, it's just not like. The problem is you get to the end of the game, there's no synergy on this board, right? There's no like overlap between these units and these units, except that you have scrap in, I guess, but we're not even scrapping. So like it just doesn't, it's not an easy line to play. It just doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I would say just like, I mean, I say this to people, and like I know like a lot of the fun in TFT is like cooking and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, like we play TFT for fun. So like don't, if you have fun playing weird stuff like Bruiser Triss, then, you know, go for it. 99.9999% of TFT players are playing not for a paycheck, they're playing for fun. And if that's more fun to you, then do it. But if you want to play to get better and to rank up as quickly as you can, don't play comps that don't exist on this list. Just go to TFT Academy and make sure if you're playing a line that it exists on this list. And if it doesn't exist on this list, it's probably not a good line, because there's about a 1% chance that you've just innovated a new cool line. And then there's a 99% chance that you were just playing some comp that like, I mean, this comp's cool, but I would much rather be playing, you know, Sentinel Trist and have my 3-star Sentinels here and be like having a really, really disgusting Sentinel frontline, whereas just 6 Bruiser is just not that tanky. It's, I mean, it's a bit crazy, but it's just not that tanky, even with everything that you've got going on here. And then, you know, playing contested is also as rough. But the other option would be to just push levels and play like Artillerist. Even, like I said, like Emissary type stuff, I think would have been like perfectly fine here. I think they have like an Emissary. Yeah, like this board you could have played as well this game, and then just throw Collector on Corki and like Collector here. And that would be, you know, not ideal, but it would be fine. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'll send you over the sheet as well. Hopefully this was helpful. Yeah.